The Sportz Nutz are back.
You are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Welcome, everybody. We are the Sportz Nutz. We are excited to see each and every one of you again. Hey, real quick, let's give a special shout out to everybody tuning in on 95.5 KFCE, TigerNation.live, and the 8 other radio stations we air on, plus the 44 countries we also air in. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean the world to us. Tonight, we have a good one lined up. But first, Shane, man, happy Friday, man. We know everything's been kind of going a little rough with your family. Hopefully, we're starting to see some improvement, man. But how are you doing, sir?
Oh man, doing good. It's the weekend. Got the boys up here with me this weekend, so we're hanging out, eating a bunch of junk food, playing out in the yard. So definitely gonna enjoy the weekend. Got a tea time set up for tomorrow, so hopefully the rain will hold out for us for a little while. But man, it's gonna be a great weekend. Although that slight chance of rain that we might see. Which we desperately need, but but you know I've got selfish reasons for that one, but definitely again thanks for all the thoughts and prayers. You know, Kara, she's going to be transported to the main medical facility there in Greenville, and she's going to be treated there here in the foreseeable future. I don't know exactly how long, but do appreciate it from me and my family.
Absolutely, man. Anytime anybody goes to the hospital or sick, it's never fun. And, you know, we're always thinking about her and everything. You do see Matt's not here yet. He is running a little late. He actually, they're finishing up birthing class. Remember him and his significant other, they are expecting a little boy. So this is actually Matt's first time having a new child in 10 plus years. So it's going to be interesting for him to say the least. He's gonna have to start all over again. I remember when I had to do that, you know, I have 4 kids of my own and Aspen is 22 months. So yeah, it was definitely a sticker shock. I'm used to having the same 3 for almost 7 years. And then I'm got to bring a new one in the world. So yeah. And also we don't have Ben tonight. Remember, he is also in Pittsburgh. He is at the NFL draft. So we wish him well. And hopefully he's gotten plenty of solid pictures and a lot of fun. Round 2 is, I believe, is underway. So yeah. Tonight we are talking about who is both the hottest team in baseball and who are the coldest teams in baseball. And there is a hint. They're all in the same division. Who are they? We'll talk about those in just a minute. Now, I know we casually mentioned this last episode and we didn't really get to dive into it, but we're going to dive into it tonight. Man, what a first round. Wow. The NFL draft has taken off. There's been some big moves, some questionable decisions, and actually some really good choices. We break down the first round of the 2026 NFL draft, get you prepared for rounds 2 through 7. For the first time ever in league history, every team in the WNBA, including Portland and Toronto, will have a good portion, if not all, of their games aired on national TV. It more than less, it will be most, not all. The only team that's guaranteed all 44 games is who? We'll talk about those in just a few minutes. This past week, we actually were treated to a softball, women's college softball game that nearly 1 million viewers watched. Who was that? We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Shane, so now we have this segment where it's called the sports stories segment, where either all three or all four of us will give you a sports story. Shane has a sports story. Matt will have one when he gets on. I have a sports story to share with you as well. And then, guys, as you guys know, it is everybody's favorite subject or segment. It is the honorable mentions, where we give you guys 2 to 5 sports stories that the mainstream media doesn't cover enough of, or they just don't cover it at all. But we do. You know why? Because it's in our DNA. It literally says in our name, we are the Sportz Nuts, or we're nuts about sports. That and a whole lot more. Plus, we have you, the most honorable and most interactive fans ever. And we mean it ever. We are so thankful for that one. Also, want to give a special shout out. Now, this one we're really excited about. Our paying sponsor, Kalama's Cuisine. This is our good friend Bobby, who is based in Honolulu, more specifically on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. If you are interested in having him, and you are in the Hawaii area, and you are interested in having Bobby cater to your events, send us a message, and we'll let you know how to get in touch with them. Greatly appreciate Bobby for being our paying sponsor. So, yeah, we're really excited about that one. All right, let's dive into it, y'all. Even though this MLB season is still relatively young, there are already teams separating themselves from the rest. So it got me wanting to ask everybody, who is the hottest team in Major League Baseball? And then here's a side story. Who are the coldest teams in Major League Baseball? And yes, the hint was they're all in the same division. And it's going to blow your socks away. So the hottest team in baseball, Shane, is who?
Is the Atlanta Braves.
That's
18-8.
The Atlanta Braves. They are 18-8, a full game ahead in the standings over the LA Dodgers. Well, guess what? We did mention that there are 2 teams that are the coldest teams in baseball, and they're in the same division as the Atlanta Braves. Shane, who are they?
That would be your New York Metropolitans,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Philly Fanatics.
That's right. The New York Mets, which we know we love how they collapse regularly. It's in their DNA to collapse. But yes, the New York Mets are the second coldest team. The actual coldest team is the Philadelphia Phillies. They've lost 9 in a row. And the Mets are coming off of a 12-game losing streak, which, by the way, here's a crazy stat in case you guys didn't know this. No team in the history of Major League Baseball has ever made the playoffs when they have a double-digit losing streak this early in the season. So this is going to be an interesting rest of your season already. But also, Shane, let's talk about the Atlanta Braves. Now, even though they are the hottest of hottest, they have an even hotter player. Well, actually, they're all hot, but they have with their own records and their statistics. But there's actually one player who could be the leading candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Or heck, if he continues this streak up, could be the MVP of the league. Who are we talking about, Shane?
Be the young catcher Drake Baldwin.
That's right.
Which I heard a couple interesting things on him the other day. Kind of giving him that Cal Raleigh treatment there with switching catchers back and forth, but at least making sure that he plays in that 130 to 150 game range.
I like that, because we are on the precedence of seeing greatness. This is what we have known for, Shane and I have known pretty much almost our whole lives. This is the Atlanta Braves team we've known. This is what should have transpired last season. Unfortunately, everybody knows the injury bug said no. So it got me wanting to know, what are your thoughts on this young season as a whole? And Do you, Shane, personally think that the Atlanta Braves will crack the 100 win mark? Right now they are currently on pace for 110 wins, which would be a record, a franchise record. They've never had more than 105, so they're on pace to outdo their franchise record in wins. What do you think, Shane? Do you think the Atlanta Braves will crack the 100 win mark if they stay healthy? And also, is there a hope and a prayer and whatever else in between that the Mets and the Phillies can salvage something, or no?
Well, one stat line when it comes to this Braves team that kind of gets lost, which really is kind of amazing. They're 10 for 10 in saves right now. No other team in MLB history through the first 25 games of a season has had a 50 plus run differential, 300 plus home runs, 200 plus pitching strikeouts, and zero blown saves. You combine that with what the second highest batting average, the fourth highest OPS, the what third highest slugging percentage, most home runs. It all stacks up. And we're talking about a team that also has, Acuna and Riley both not really producing at the plate to their capability. So
Mhm.
that's one thing. And then another thing you look at is a third of their rotation is is that that they're still injured. They're coming back. So it's going to be interesting to see. I do see that 100 game mark being tested by this team for sure, especially with the way they're going. But when we're talking about the Mets and the Phillies are just too talented to be here right now. They're slumping. Something's they got to have a meeting or something. Get their minds right somehow, which a very pivotal early in the year series with them skidding the way they are and the Braves being the hottest team in baseball coming up this weekend with those two teams. But then you got to look at the Metropolitans, man. Uh, these guys, man, are third, second worst record in the league right now, with the second highest payroll in the league to go along with that. So something's really got to change, and I believe it's going to really have to come down from the ownership through the front office, and going to have to be a total overhaul because they've tried to do it the other New York team's way, and it really hasn't gone so successful. But I can definitely see the Phillies kind of not riding this trend the where they're at, but the Mets that might be a different story.
Yeah, I think that ship has long since sailed for the New York Mets. There's something. It's so weird. And here was a crazy stat too, Shane. The Mets through 21 games had the are like no, it was like 25 games are like the fastest to reach 15 losses in their season already. It's a bizarre stat, but you're right. This team, they have the second highest payroll. They have spent so much money for nothing. I mean, there's just I pose this question a lot with the Buffalo Bills. Shane, are the Buffalo Bills cursed? Well, let's just say for bleeps and giggles, are the Mets somehow cursed? I mean, it's been since 1986 was the last time the Mets won the World Series. I mean, just put into perspective, my wife was born in 1986. That's how long ago it was for the Mets to really amount to much then. And even then, they've had their bouts where they've gone to the playoffs and they just absolutely laid massive goose eggs. And it's such a weird it's a weird situation that's transpiring in New York. We have a good buddy of mine named Marco. He watches us regularly, and he can't put his finger on what is going on with everything going on in New York. I mean, here's another example. We know somebody, Shane, that they are avid New York Yankees fans, and literally after the third game, they were talking about how, oh, the Yankees are going to be the best team in baseball. They're going to win, blah blah blah, and then they went on this back to reality dosage, and they just looked human. And then it was, oh man, this team is awful. So then my buddy Marco comes and says, oh no, you want to know what's awful? We're down the road in Queens, and we're doing even worse, or wherever Shea Stadium is, but we're doing even worse. I know I just said Shea Stadium, and it's probably not. I think it's called City Field, and that's what it's called, right, Shane?
Yeah, City Field, yeah.
I just totally aged myself, y'all, by saying Shea Stadium. But yes, I mean, Shane, I can't figure out what in God's green earth is going on with the Mets. But here's a crazy stat too: the Miami Marlins actually are decent looking. The entire NL East is it's always been that division that you're going to be the NL West and the NL East that they're always going to go against each other some form or another into the World Series. It's always how it's lined up is weird. But then you're looking at everything with regards to the Mets, who absolutely stinking up the joint. Now you got the Philadelphia Phillies, which you're right, they are so talented to be doing this bad. You've got to wonder if it's time for a change of scenery at leadership. Do they need to consider trading away some of their core pieces to get younger talent into the mix? Not saying that they don't have high quality talent now. I'm just saying that there's something that's got to be done for Philadelphia, because at this rate, I mean, we'll be lucky to have one team come out of the NL East, and that's of course the Atlanta Braves. I mean, it is the Marlins. We know what Miami does. They're traditional. They can start out good, but then they always finish really bad, like really bad. So it's a weird situation to say the least. But yes, your hottest team in baseball is the Atlanta Braves, but the coldest teams are the New York Mets, followed by the coldest team, which is the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, so Shane, the NFL draft is underway, and man, we were actually treated to a pretty good first round. Now, we did see some predictable selections. You and I both, alluded to this quite a bit during our mock drafts. We saw some questionable selections. We saw some boneheaded decisions too. Where we've already started the second round, and one thing I do want to point out. Remember, we did our mock draft, and you and Tim, everybody had asked about like where do I think the LA Rams would go at 13, and I said, I'm going to go, because we don't know the situation with what's going on, how much longer we have with Matthew Stafford. I think they're going to go for Ty Simpson, and lo and behold, Ty Simpson is an LA Ram. What are your overall? So here's what I'm asking for you, Shane. I want you to give everybody your overall grade. You can give it, you can give it a numerical grade, or you can give it a letter. It's A, B, C, D, or F. Which I don't think you're going to give an F for that, because I have not seen a draft in quite some time that's even gotten that low. But what is your overall grade of the draft, and what were your overall impressions for the first round?
Oh man, well, the first round, we saw number one. We kind of knew that direction, but as you mentioned, Ty Simpson, he was climbing up people's boards late pre-draft. So I kind of knew it. He would go first round. Didn't know exactly when, but man, overall, I'm going to give it a B. And the fanfare is there. You see the crowds. It's just amazing. But then you get a good deep dive into the draft. Love going to Arizona was kind of a surprise.
Mhm.
We all kind of thought that they would go edge rusher, defense over offensive playmaker. But and then we knew Tennessee was going to go after a offensive playmaker, no matter who it was, either Love or Tate, right there. So that was kind of expected. But man, I wish old Ben Rodriguez was on with us and watching out there because man, his Jets were my biggest surprise
They
of
had
this
the best.
draft
I think they had the best
and what they
overall.
did. Yeah, yeah. As far as first round goes, I mean, you get three picks in the first round. You know, they were going to get Bailey or Reese with that second pick, but they got another two playmakers for that offense in Sadiq and Cooper, but both lengthier guys that can go up and get the ball. Got plenty of speed, so definitely a, good pickup. Great first round for them. So definitely A+ first round for the Jets. Ben, I know you're excited. We I want to go into the second round a little bit and shout out old Ben Willis. He wanted those Dolphins to get Rodriguez, and they selected him with that first pick in the second round. So congratulations to them. But man, I got to talk about the Panthers there for a little bit. They selected Monroe Freeling, the tackle out of Georgia. Great, great offensive tackle, and is going to be a guy at the next level. I personally didn't like the pick when it was originally kind of submitted and all. I thought that with the safety Dylan Thineman that was up there, man, I wanted him. I think that he could be a game changer in that secondary for the Panthers. But then I took a step back and looked at it because the Panthers just signed Walker from Green Bay on only a 1 year deal. Morton is 31 now, and in the final 2 years of his deal, so they needed to go out and get a young stud at tackle. And with them falling that low, I definitely love the pick. And we know that this draft is defense heavy.
Hmm.
So I know the fact look for the Panthers in that second, third round to kind of go after kind of some of that secondary need and defensive lineman need that they got to get to fill some spots and get some depth so they can be good at those kinds of situations there and win the South again.
There was a lot of, I mean, there really was a lot of good. There was a lot of, I mean, let me rephrase it. There was a lot of great movement that happened, a lot of big trades. Now, there was some questionable trades. I had a big question with regards to the fact that the Giants, they traded back up to get back into it. I think the player that they selected could have been there at their original position. That's just my thoughts on that one. There was a lot of big movements. And here's another one too. I think his name is Mansour. I don't know how you say his first name, Mansour Delane. Um,
Mansour Delaney, yeah,
with
he's
cornerback.
from Virginia Tech,
So
and
that was
then
a
transferred
questionable choice there
last year.
because remember, the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they had the ninth pick and they traded positions with the Cleveland Browns. I think that Mansour would have been there at 9. I really do. But here was what I also know, and I'm pretty sure you noticed this too, Shane. Literally right after the 8th pick, which went to the oh my goodness, New Orleans Saints. We had like an influx of linemen. It was so weird. It was like bam, 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 offense and defensive linemen. It was just constant. Yeah, you threw your mix in there when you had Ty Simpson go at 13, and then you had Kenyon Sadiq go there at 16 to the Jets. But the rest of the time it was a lot of linemen. I think a lot of teams did really good for the most part. Now, I do want to also tag along. You'd mentioned about Arizona getting Jeremiah Love at 3. You remember they also got They have Bijan Robinson. Good grief, Brandon. They got
Brian.
Tyler Algier. Remember,
Yes.
yeah, they had Tyler Algier as he was supposed to be their premier back. Is actually what they had come out and said was he was going to be their premier back, and then now they've got Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is a generational running back, one of the best since we saw Saquon Barkley in the draft. But then what was really cool also, tip your cap to Notre Dame. This is the first time that it's ever happened in NFL draft history that running back 1 and running back 2 in the draft, as far as ratings wise, were from the same team. Jadarian Price got selected with the 32nd overall pick to the Seattle Seahawks. So it was really cool to see that. There was a lot of great names. I do have some questions, and I want to hear your thoughts on this too. We know what Clemson has done regularly, Shane. You know this so well that they pump out a lot of great defensive players. However, as of late, they've been kind of duds. Vic Beasley had looked like it was going to be promised, and it ended up being a bust. Rukaroro looked like he could have been a great opportunity, and he has turned out to be a bust as well. So they did not they didn't pan out. I know that AJ Terrell has panned out, but just not a lot of Clemson players as of late. Now, I will say I had a little I'm a little questioned with Peter Woods going to Kansas City. I understand the idea behind it, but I just have my questions on them. But what are your thoughts, Shane, about Blake Miller going to the Detroit Lions at 17?
I think it was a decent pick. I mean, they need help there, obviously. But what one that I know Jerry is pretty excited about, TJ Parker going early in the second round to the Bills.
Mm-hmm. And
I
that
was
was who he
surprised
actually wanted too.
yeah, yeah. So, shout out Jerry because I think he said that. Hey, that's ideal to get him early in the second round. So, called that one, Jerry. Good job. Uh, but uh, but man, that Woods, man, he's just he kind of stands up too much for me. uh,
That's what I noticed that too. He doesn't stay low. His center of gravity is he goes whoop.
yeah,
So
yeah, and then
it's
yeah,
questionable.
but he's got the talent and the size there, and you can teach technique. I think it should pan out there. But man, it, like you said, there were some interesting moments. The Philly coming up to get Lemon there.
Did you hear the story about
From
that too?
Dallas. No, I didn't hear the story about that, but I just thought I saw the teams picking behind Dallas there, and I thought it was a pretty decent move. But then didn't Dallas turn around and just trade that pick back to move up one or something like
Yeah.
that? So
So
I thought that was pretty interesting.
here's the story about Lemon. Okay. All right. So Pittsburgh had called Lemon and they were on the phone with him, and Philly knew that Pittsburgh wanted him. So, and Philly, we already know the whole thing that Philly's probably most likely, now definitely for sure, getting rid of AJ Brown. Well, here's what was really interesting about it. Philadelphia kept calling Lemon and he kept hitting decline because he was already on the phone with Pittsburgh. And I guess somebody, maybe his agent or whatever, said, hey, you need to get off the phone with them because Philadelphia Eagles have been trying to call you. And so he got off the phone with Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia traded up and they took Lemon. And that sent an absolute frenzy of a brawl, like going around. People were like, this is absolutely bogus that they did it. Well, then come to find out that everything all was redeemed, I guess you could say, as far as between of let's just, pick on the Pittsburgh team. And they did, Dallas did it. But definitely their in-state rival in Philadelphia did it. It was a really interesting story on that one. And then did you see one of the interviews that they interviewed? I can't remember who it was. They interviewed him. Shane, I talk fast. I could not understand what the guy was saying. It was, I'm in state of shock right now, and I'm just going to do and what I want to do, and you're going to put me where I'm going to put me. And it was a very awkward interview, to say the least. And you could see Laura Rutledge, she was struggling to interview him. God, I'm trying to remember who it was. They were struggling to interview him, and she said, well, congratulations. And then that was it. It was such a weird interview, to
Yeah,
say the
who was
least.
that the Giants took with the 10th pick? Was that it?
Maybe that was that pick. No, that's Francis Mayoga from out of Miami. I'm trying to think. Gosh darn. Was it Reese that perhaps they were talking about?
I think so. I think it might have been.
Yeah, it was an absolute bizarre interview, and it was. Guys, I would show it, but I'm not going to get. I don't want to get copyright flagged. But I want you guys to go look at this. There isn't. Just type in on Google Laura Rutledge uncomfortable 2026 NFL draft interview, and that will be the first one that pops up. And it really was a head scratcher of a moment. So let's talk about what's transpiring. Tonight is rounds 2 and 3. Tomorrow will be rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's usually how it is. But Avion Terrell, by the way, has been selected by the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, so AJ Terrell and Avion Terrell are on the exact same team. Congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons. They are sticking their guns with having a family play on the same team. Congratulations. That's awesome. So cool to see that one. But let's talk about this. What's going on with the second and third round? Shane, my question I'm going to ask you is I guess Buffalo didn't want to make selections until the later rounds? Because they traded away all their opportunities in the first round, and they don't have very many opportunities in the second or third round. But it's not until you get to the fourth and later that's when they really have a lot. I think it's like 15 or 16 draft picks. It's insane.
Yeah.
But what are you looking forward to most tonight for rounds 2 and 3? Like, who could be the dark horse in these rounds that gets that quality pick? And then also, what do you think transpires the remaining bit of the draft tomorrow?
Man, well, I can tell you for sure, a couple names to be on the lookout for here in the second rounds. Malachi Fields, Notre Dame, has gained a lot of attention here lately. Zachariah Branch, as far as on the offensive side, I'm hoping Stowers stays down there for Carolina's pick. That'd definitely be nice to get him at that pick. But there's a lot of skilled wide receivers and cornerbacks that you're going to be looking to go in these the 2 to 3 round range. Definitely you'll see linebackers edge, as we mentioned before, with the defensive depth of this draft. We will definitely see kind of more kind of a slew, I guess you would say, of these defensive guys go, and then I think you're going to see a run on linemen late in that third round. But that 4th through 7th rounds, man, it's going to be interesting. My mom was talking about it earlier today. She's like, in the last one, what's his name? Mr. Ear. I said Mr. Irrelevant. So definitely definitely a something that brings everybody together in this NFL draft. And tomorrow you're in it for the long haul. So
Literally.
yeah, they condense down the times between picks, but it's still a chore every once in a while kind of deal. So hey, Panthers have made a pick or trade to come up for the next pick.
Yeah, they just made a trade. Absolutely.
So definitely very interested to see. They must know that somebody might be looking at their pick.
Possibly.
but definitely, gonna watch and see how everything plays out, and we'll be back on Monday to give our grades. I'm pretty sure on
Oh yeah, and they have taken
that.
Lee Hunter, defensive tackle out of Texas Tech. That's a
Yep,
good. That's
yep.
actually a really good selection.
Yes, I like
That's a
that. I
that's a
like that a
steal.
lot.
That's an absolute steal. He was actually he was the sixth rated position of defensive tackle. However, he was the fact
Yep,
that he lasted this long. That means that
yep.
Carolina got lucky. That was a great pick.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations to Carolina on that one. And that's hard for me to say because I'm not a Carolina Panthers fan. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, but that was a good move. Absolutely good move on that one. All right, let's move on to the next subject. So, for the first time, and this is what I'm really excited to share, for the first time ever, yes, ever, literally, and more specifically in WNBA history, every single WNBA game will be nationally televised, some more than others. Like I said, even Toronto and Portland are getting in on that action. But we already know, and I'm not discrediting Caitlin Clark, but Indiana's got every game. All 44 games will be nationally televised. Now, this is exciting for women's professional sports as a whole. Now, we are all going to be treated to some great basketball. Yes, absolutely. And look, we know that there are folks who don't agree with us about women's basketball, and that's okay. That's fine. Women's sports is not always everybody's cup of tea. It's more from it is more on our end. I promote it well because I am a girl dad times four. Matt is a girl dad until his son is born. But so and he will still be a girl dad no matter what. But one, and like I said, one is definitely entitled to feel that way. Now we are just airing the facts, but do you all think that the media is overhyping Caitlin Clark? And here's why I asked that too, Shane. Why isn't Cameron Brink getting some the same level of attention that Caitlin Clark is getting? Look, Angel Reese is definitely getting the notoriety. She is and you heard this too. Marcus said Angel Reese is a superstar. She is a superstar for the WNBA. She may not be the best scorer, may not be the best defender, but she's going to give you 120% no matter what. So she's definitely a superstar. She is very boisterous, so she likes to talk, and that's fine. That's okay. But she can back up her mouth. She's a great player. She's generally a great player. So why do you think that though, Shane? Why do you think Cameron Brink is not getting the notoriety? Why do you think Paige Becker's she was the number one pick? AZ Fudd was the number one pick this year. We are not getting nearly the amount of attention that Caitlin Clark is getting. Now, I've had people who are telling me that the media is overhyping her and they're forcing her down our throats, yada yada yada. What do you think? Why do you think that other players are not getting that notoriety?
Well, first off, let's address that, man. It's not just what we reported. What was it last year coming into the WNBA season, where Ion was carrying some games,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking about networks, NBC, Peacock, have a couple big ones opening weekend, but it's. Uh, it's when you get to down to the players, we've seen you've seen the amount of attention that Caitlin Clark uh, gathered from her time in college going into the WNBA and what she did in her rookie season. What was good last season, not on the same level. People watch film and they figure out your game, and you constantly have to evolve the beat them as well. But when you see that, you see the attention that she's already gathered and it's been awarded, and you're going to cash in on that. So that's one of those things that they do to kind of appeal to the masses and get more of a broader fan base in because honestly before a few years ago you didn't hear about such the WNBA craze or the college women's basketball craze at all coming up. Now you see girls out out there with basketball hoops, your daughter's age, Brandon,
Yep.
and they're like we were when in our age, Jordan with the
Put the
fadeaway.
Jordan jerseys on.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. They're out there doing that to their WNBA idols, and I think it depends on the market, of the team and the stardom of the player. Because you look at it, and Asia Wilson is the superstar of the WNBA, both on the floor and off. But she's more quiet and reserved. So when we have more notoriety going to different players now, we're going to see different personalities, and it's how they handle themselves in that, and the media is going to take it wherever they can, especially with this league finally gaining traction and going into the black, they're going to do what they can to capitalize on that. I mean, it's all about the almighty dollar at the end of the day,
Yep.
to these media companies. So they're going to hype up what they want, and all that to bring that level of attention. I mean, we see it, all the time. With certain matchups, leading into the NBA playoffs this season, with the Durant LeBron matchup conversation to kind of gain interest into that one. So definitely very interesting to see how they kind of shape the rest of the season, other than the start. And it's going to be very interesting to see now that we have multiple different media outlets covering the WNBA and how they cover them.
Oh, absolutely. And we are not done yet getting high quality WNBA stars coming out. No, there's a whole slew. Juju Watkins she's on the next. She's next. She missed all of last season because she tore her ACL in the playoffs. So, but she's coming back. She's going to have a good opportunity. We're going to see a lot more future stars come out for the WNBA in college, and we're not done by any stretch of means. We're not done. I think we're going to see an even bigger balloon of happen with the WNBA. I really do. I think in the coming years we're going to see levels that one could only have dreamt of in the pre 90, the early 90s and early 2000s with the WNBA. So really excited to see what's going to transpire. And we're definitely tipping our caps to the fact that every team is getting a piece of the pie. Now, obviously, again, some more so than others, but we're so excited that women's basketball is getting what they deserve, which is more television time, more notoriety, bigger payouts, better salary caps. It's getting there. We're starting that trend the right way. It's funny also, Shane. I like to watch NBC Nightly News. Well, they talked about America and America's heroes, and one of them is Billie Jean King. You remember she revolutionized the game of tennis for women, and she is a great humanitarian. Now she is very politically boisterous, but I'm not gonna. I don't care for her political views, but I'm not going to talk politics. No, I will say that she has absolutely done a really amazing thing for women's athletics. And, she has already come out and said she's really excited for the steps that are transpiring for the WNBA players. They're not done. We're not done yet. Do I think we will see women's professional sports be at the level we see with men's sports? No, I don't think that, unfortunately. And that's hard for me to say because I am a girl dad, but I think I think we will be close to it. Do I think we're going to have a player who makes $55 million a year in the WNBA? No, that'll never happen. Do we have that in the NBA? Yes, we absolutely do have that in the NBA. I mean, heck, don't we have some players who make almost $100 million a year? So, it's there. But I think we can see something close. I do think in our lifetimes, we will see a female athlete make $20 million. I could see that, or that could be a realistic time. I could see that in the future happening. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that one. But yeah, we wanted to give us, definitely want to give a special shout out to the WNBA. Congratulations, seriously. This is a big moment for them, and we're really excited. WNBA basketball gets started very soon, so
3
be on the
weeks,
lookout.
I believe. What,
Yep.
the 20th, 21st?
Excuse me, my nose itching. Yep, be ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. It doesn't look like Matt's going to join us tonight, and it's fine. It is Matt. We know Matt likes to, play hooky. So let's go to the next topic. Y'all, for the first time since 2015, nearly 1 million fans were treated to an amazing matchup between the University of Texas and University of Georgia in softball. UGA did win 4-2, but this set off some more great numbers. In fact, and I know you're going to love hearing this too, Shane. This is the highest rated college softball viewership ever. So much so, it's an increase of 114% over the last 3 years. So let me ask you this, Shane. What does this say to you about women's sports? Now that we see it was, so the actual number was 725,000 viewers just for one college softball game. But what does this say to you? Because, we just got done talking about the WNBA, but what does this say to you about women's sports in general now that we're close to seeing 1 million people watch each sporting event for women?
Well, I can tell you that we're talking about colleges that are really doing their softball programs right. With great facilities, great fanfare, everything all around the board. These major programs, especially when you talk about the SEC and some of the powerhouse schools out west. They just do softball right, and it's great to see. I mean, I'm bad about putting on a softball game instead of watching a college baseball game. It's just more of a fast-paced game at that level, and it's great to watch. And I believe, with so many media outlets, as we were just talking about with the WNBA, that we see with women's sports now, the casual fan is now subjected to that material now.
Mm-hmm.
So that it catches your eye right there, and you dive in a little bit and watch it, and a lot of people find it entertaining to watch different things at certain times, and with the availability out there now, with the streaming services and all the way they are, there's so many avenues to be able to watch these things. ESPN used to be the only outlet. Now you have, I don't know, tons of different free outlets. Not just that, but subscriptions and all that you pay for. So it's definitely great to see. And as we continue to grow as people, we're going to see changes throughout. Be it men's, women's sports, just in general. It's great to see the trend that we're on, definitely with women's sports and the viewership numbers and all. But I mean, I know I was one of those ones that caught that early Sunday game between the two and all. I enjoy watching it, and if you haven't checked it out, I suggest you do, because it's really fun and interesting to see these athletes go out and compete, and see what it means to them. A side note too, though, I saw one video. I believe it's the University of South Florida. You can go to the stadium, and they could potentially have a softball game going on one side of the field, and then you walk underneath a covered area where they got concessions and all, and on the other side is the baseball stadium.
Yep.
So, so
I've seen it firsthand. It's a pretty,
I,
by the way, pretty park, by the way, there.
yeah, I saw that. So definitely, if you want to go see both, or have a question which one you'd like to see more, go down there to and visit
Go to
the
Tampa.
Bulls in South Florida, and catch a game there, and you can decide right there on the spot which one you want to see.
Yeah. Shout out to Tampa and the University of South Florida. It's a really pretty campus. I love getting to go watch the Bulls play. And, they play right now until next year. They play at Raymond J Stadium where the Buccaneers play next year. They play and they're I think it's like a $900 million stadium or $1 billion stadium. It's something insane. And their other athletic complexes they're really pretty. So shout out to South Florida. Absolutely. All right. So let's go to this next topic. This is a new title for this segment. It's not new. It's just a new title. This is the sports story segment where either if it's all four of us, we will all give you a sports story. If it's all three of us, we'll give you a sports story. We're supposed to have Matt on here, but we have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than having Matt ever respond. So with that being said, Shane has a sports story to share with us. So Shane, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, this sports story kind of hits home. Especially me being such a big NASCAR fan. Jim France is stepping down as the NASCAR CEO. The majority owner for NASCAR is stepping down after years in the role. Steve O'Donnell, who's been the president of NASCAR for years, is gonna come up into that role. This will mark the first time in NASCAR's history that a member of the France family is not in that CEO role with the sport. So definitely very interesting to see. Now Ben Kennedy, Jim France's great nephew, is going to be promoted to COO. So there's still a family tie in there. But man, it's very interesting to see that that historic name, that France name, not be the CEO of NASCAR anymore. It's like I said, it hits home, but man, it's gonna be very interesting to see the direction that NASCAR goes in with their growth, and hopefully we say growth, but definitely something I'm watching very intently.
Absolutely. That's, it is going to be weird not seeing him, but I think, and I really truly believe this too, Shane. I think that NASCAR is about to take another step in the right direction. I really see it. I see that, you joked about the growth. I think we're going to see some more growth. I really do. I think we are going to see, they're going to formulate ways to, you put 10 fans of sports in the same room, and right now you maybe get 3 to 5 range as far as go to see NASCAR. I could see it being like 7 to 9. I really do. I think it's coming. I really do. So absolutely. My sports story is actually a pretty neat one, y'all. It has to deal with the NHL, Stanley Cup playoffs, and numbers viewership wise altogether. Now we all know hockey is becoming more and more of a household name again in the sports world. So at one time though, it was sort of like a cult following sport, meaning you had your select few who were hockey fans sticking through, and then you had those who really could give 2 cents about hockey, and that's understandable. That's fine, but not now. Everyone is being turned on to one of the greatest games in hockey, and it shows. This season was the highest rated college ranked season ever for viewership numbers in person and on TV. And you're going to also like hearing this. In person, we had more consecutive sellouts in every game in the NHL and college than in any years past. You have to go back to the late 80s and early 90s and some in maybe even early 2000s to see some of these numbers. And it's pretty interesting. Out of all 30 teams in NHL, every team, now this is according to ESPN, Fox Sports, and other media outlets, every team either sold out the entire season or every team has sold out at least 3/4 of all their home games, which is an increase by 34%. Now on TV, we saw a huge jump from 2020 to 2026 by an estimated 158% growth in TV viewership in this season alone in the NHL. And I also want to point out too that according to ESPN and ABC, they're the same company, but this was the highest rated viewership for ESPN, ABC, and TNT is like a 55% increase. It's really cool. But overall, as a big picture, that's college, that's high school, that's professional, that's even the minor leagues of hockey, like the ECHL and the AHL. We have seen a growth of over 24% alone in the playoffs. And that's incredible. That, to put into perspective, last year for watching the Frozen Four, it was like 500,000. This year, you almost had another 50% overall. So you're talking another 250,000 minimum who were glued just to the Frozen Four. The numbers are higher, obviously. That's just for bleeps and giggles right there. But the Stanley Cup playoffs also, this is the highest watched Stanley Cup playoffs ever. This is absolutely amazing. It's the largest difference between all sports collectively. That's the four majors. That's hockey, basketball, baseball, football. And this year alone is the highest differential growth we've seen compared to all four combined. That's really cool. So if you are a big fan of hockey, a big component of hockey, this one goes out to you. Congratulations. You have helped make hockey become a staple in almost everybody's household. So really excited on that one. All right. Now comes everybody's favorite segment. It is the Yes, it is the honorable mentions. We got to get Matt to know that it doesn't fit the entire screen. But yes, this is the honorable mentions segment. What we do is we give you 2 to 5 sports stories that the mainstream media doesn't cover enough of, or they don't cover it all. But again, it is in our DNA because we are the Sports Nuts, where we are nuts about sports. My first honorable mention goes out to the Philadelphia Flyers. They are on the verge of sweeping future Hall of Famer Sidney Crosby right out of the first round in the building. It's funny that we mentioned this because now we did have, the the play-by-play announcer for the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Penguins play-by-play announcer recently. And we had some people who have said that the Penguins were the best and the Flyers were a joke. Remember, we had someone who once called them the whiners. I think that's what they said. So this is really big. So, last episode, Shane and I talked about this frivolously. We talked about, and I'm using big words today, I know, we talked about that, we could see the Pittsburgh Penguins. We could see the Ottawa Senators. We're definitely going to see the LA Kings. I think the LA Kings are done. I don't think they're going to get a win. So we're about to see 3 teams most likely get swept right out of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Flyers. If they sweep their in-state rival, that's going to be pretty big. Shane, what is your first give us your first honorable mention, please, sir. You're muted. There you go.
Oh, yeah. My first honorable mention is going to go out to young Braves pitcher J.R. Ritchie. His debut. First pitch didn't look like it was going to be a great debut for him, but gave up that home run to Wood there from the Nationals with that very first pitch of his. But stayed in there, stayed strong. Only gave up one more. Went 7 innings for the Braves in a 7-2 win in his pitching debut. So great to see young talent coming up there for the Braves and stepping up with the injuries that we've had to the rotation early this year. So definitely shout out JR, and at least you got that first one off your back and out the way pretty early.
I like that. That's pretty good, actually. My second honorable mention goes out to the Detroit Pistons. Rebounded after a Game 1 loss to the Orlando Magic. I will say this. I think they had a little bit of a coming to Jesus moment because they absolutely they looked flat in game 1 against the Orlando Magic, but they came out and absolutely looked unstoppable against them in game 2. I don't think they're going to have any more trouble really against the Magic because Detroit is such a dominant force this year. I think Detroit wins it in 5. They'll be if they have any more challenge, it will be in 6. But Detroit's going to win this series. So, shout out to Detroit for having a coming to Jesus moment and rebounding and handling their business. Shane, give us your next honorable mention.
Yeah, my next honorable mention is going to go out to a man that just got the bag. We're talking about in the NFL. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed signed a 3-year, $50 million extension with the team. $20 million of that is guaranteed. Kind of shows the direction that the Packers are going in, especially after losing Dobbs to the Patriots this offseason. So he was coming up on the last year of his contract, and they decided that they wanted to keep him in that wide receiver room. So they gave him some greenbacks for it. But man, he's going to be signed through 2029 now, and was just drafted a few years ago, 2023. So definitely good to see a young man get paid and kind of understand what direction the Packers are heading in now with their weapons around Jordan Love.
Absolutely, I love it. Really good on that one. My third honorable mention goes out to the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. This was actually a really good game. And this was, this is wait till you hear what I talk about this one. So Dallas started out early, going up 2-0, and it looked like this was going to be a cakewalk. Dallas was going to mollywop the absolute snot out of Minnesota. Nope. Minnesota went on a scoring spree, tied it at 2-2. Then they took a 3-2 lead, only to give up the tying goal in the third, late in the third, by the way. But that's not why I'm giving the mention. No. This game, it went into overtime. Then it went into double overtime. And it was so close to going to a third overtime. But Dallas came away on top by a score of 4-3. Now, I am actually going to go out on a limb and say this. And I'm a true believer on this. And if you want to debate with me, go right ahead. Give me reasons why you don't think so. But the winner of this series, I think, will represent the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think it'll either be Dallas or Minnesota. I don't think that we're going to see. I do not think we're going to see Colorado make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Just too much to overcome. We're definitely not going to see Edmonton. Edmonton, they started out really slow, and they're kind of. I think they're going to obviously sweep the Kings, and I'm okay with that one. So we'll see. But I think either if Dallas wins it in 6. I think Dallas will be the representative. If Minnesota wins it in 7. And I think that Minnesota actually could represent the West on there. And look, our guy Mark Livingston is joking about how Malachi Lemon was stolen from Pittsburgh. He's talking about how the Eagles are doing really good in the draft. They drafted Eli Stowers in the 2nd round, who is a stud tight end from Vanderbilt. They traded their 3rd round pick and Jonathan Grenard from the Vikings, who is a Pro Bowl linebacker. So, yeah, they're doing really good on that one. So, Shane, give us your next honorable mention, please.
First off, breaking news, honorable mention, freshman Wells from the University of Oklahoma just set the single-season home run mark in NCAA softball.
Really?
So just popped up across my ticker. So that's wanted to shout that one out, especially after just talking about that. But I want to highlight, man, we could have 3 sweeps this weekend in the NHL.
Yes.
2 of them possibly tomorrow, 3:00. I know I'm gonna be glued in. Hopefully after that golf round. Watching a little bit of this match with the Hurricanes, hopefully closing out Ottawa. But
dude,
then,
y'all will. I'm already telling you, they're gonna win.
Yep. But then you got Philly on their home ice at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Uh, Especially the drafts in Pittsburgh, and you're playing Pittsburgh. You know how that rivalry can go in state anyway. So, but definitely on home ice on a Saturday night, that crowd will be lively, to say the least. And then on Sunday, there mid afternoon, you got Colorado. More than likely, in my opinion, is probably going to take care of the Kings, like you said. So definitely, just get your brooms out. Be ready for the sweeps this weekend.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And by the way, I want to reiterate, we were not taking a stab at Joe Brand. We absolutely were thrilled to have him come on the show and interview us. He is the play-by-play announcer for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're just saying that some people believe that the Penguins are, the greatest team that's ever walked the face of the earth, and they're not. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that one. My fourth and final honorable mention goes out to all the sporting fans of 2025. Shane, you ready to hear this? How much they spent in tourism money? This absolutely is whoa. Spent a record $111.2 billion in tourism money alone. That's a jump by 14% from 2024 and a 31% increase over 2023. And we could even see bigger numbers in 2026. Dadgum. Think about that for a second. $111.2 billion in tourism money spent, let alone on sporting tourism. That's incredible. So yes, I'm tipping my proverbial cap to you, the sporting fan, for helping boost the vast majority of the sports economic boost with that $111 billion you spent. Shane, give us your final honorable mention, please, sir.
My final honorable mention is going to go to Taylor Jenkins, the former Memphis assistant coach, is in finalization talks with the Milwaukee Bucks to become their next head coach. So we see that didn't take long for them to step out and find their coach of the future. He's going to inherit a team that's got a bunch of question marks, and we'll see how this hire with Jenkins and Giannis kind of works out. We'll see kind of how they go in what direction as a team, but very, very interesting to see it take shape this quick in them hiring a coach. So must feel like the right fit.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, real quick, we have some breaking news that just literally came down in the last 2 minutes. Every year the NHL has what's called the Winter Classic. We had already mentioned that in 2027 it will be between the Utah Mammoth and Colorado Avalanche. Well, it's going to be played on New Year's Eve, and it's going to be held for outdoors in Utah. That's going to be a fantastic matchup indeed. Really excited on that front. Hey guys, we are so honored that you did choose to spend the last 90 minutes with us. It really means the world to us. We love all of our fans. We are on the verge of major growth, and we want you to be aware of what is going on with the Sportz Nutz. Now, we are revamping nuttysportstalk.com. It's going to include a place where you can watch all of our old archived episodes, all of our old shorts and new ones, of course. We are also going to be adding an online store so you can actually purchase your Sportz Nutz memorabilia, merchandise from us. We also have sports reporters who are going to be joining the network to write about sporting events. They will actually be covering places, an example, like they will be going to cover Clemson. They will be covering teams in California. They will be covering teams in Tampa. We have Atlanta. We have all over. You're going to see a lot of that going around. Really excited about that. You're going to start seeing them cover especially college, professional level, and some high school even, because we do have some people who are avid high school or sports fanatics, and that's fine. That's actually really a lot of fun. Our guy Jerry West also I want to see Jerry West. He is not playing in the NBA. He's not with the LA Lakers. And the fact that you're not sitting there saying, really, Brandon, but Jerry White from the Jerry White Show, he is an avid high school sports reporter. He follows that stuff. So we are actually going to cover that as well. We're really excited on that one. We are going to have a spot to purchase professional photos from our photographers. We have a couple who are going to be joining us who will be soliciting their professional pictures. You can get posters out of that. So really excited on that one. We are going to do a whole lot more. We're going to also have a spot where you can view all of our partnered members' websites and their YouTube channels to help them grow as well as us. You will also get to go onto a spot where all of our sponsors are listed in case you want to visit their website and maybe you want to contact them to, do something with your corporations. And if you are interested in also being a paying sponsor, we will have a form for you to fill out there, plus pricing schedules and what all is included. You will also see a bio page for where you can read up on everyone who is affiliated with the Sportz Nutz and the Sportz Nutz Network. So big things are coming, so stay tuned on that one. And speaking of upcoming, the upcoming episodes are episode 222 will be Monday the 27th. Episode 223 is Wednesday the 29th of April. Our good friend Tony Gladstone joins us. It's our weekly Tony Talk. Episode 224 is Friday, May the 1st. Everybody will be here. I can guarantee you, including Matt. It is going to be a real treat. We had the former University of Hawaii president, Mr. Ben Jay, joining the show. And now, just to put this in perspective, y'all, the last time I talked to him was the 2010-2011 season. So it's going to be nice to catch up with an old friend, indeed. And then episode 225, Monday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We are joined by our good friend John from the Pitch Grid podcast to talk to us about the MLS, World Cup, Premier League soccer, and more. Plus, this is a first for the Sports Nutz. This is a big moment for us. An MLS team is coming on our show, and that team is FC Cincinnati. The PA announcer, Ethan Herzik, is going to join the show to talk to us about the team. We are absolutely beyond blessed and excited that he's coming on. We were trying to get somebody to come on from the Seattle Sounders, but the Seattle Sounders have an actual NDS that says that they cannot go on. Anybody who affiliates with them cannot go on any podcast or any other sports talk show unless it is ESPN only. It's a weird clause, but it's real. So unfortunately, we don't have them. But yes, we will have an MLS team on here. I also wanted to make mention to let everybody know that Matt Thomas has officially been named the Sportz Nutz executive producer and chief executive producer of the show and the network. So everybody, please give him a round of applause when you see him, whenever that is. And also, our very own Ben Willis has also been named our sports guru connoisseur. You guys, Shane will even allude to this. Ben knows sports like the back of his hand and then some. And he is a great person to debate sports with us. So please also, when he is back with us on Monday, congratulate him. That's a pretty cool title for him. So with that being said, for everybody who watched us tonight, everybody who will be tuning in the days to come, as well as our international audience and everybody on 95.5 KFCE and Tiger Nation and the other radio stations, thank you. Shane, give everybody your final goodbyes, please, sir.
Oh, yeah. Well, as always, thank you for your continued thoughts and prayers for me and my family during this time. Go enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. Hopefully the rain, if it's around in your area, will stay away. Be a nice, beautiful weekend. Get some things done. Catch the rest of this NFL draft and some great playoff hockey and basketball that's going on right now. But may the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. And guys, before I give my goodbye, I want to let everybody know we are on the precedence of getting to 10,000 subscribers. And we are, I think we're at like 8726 or whatever. So we're really growing at an amazing pace. We are also on pace to hit 1 million views by Mother's Day. Even we are at 802,000 views. So We are trying to get to that 1 million view mark. So help us get there by continuing to share, as Shane likes to tell you, also to comment and like and subscribe to all and follow all of our social medias. So as I always tell you guys, peace up, A-Town down. Why it's the greatest sports city there ever was. You guys have a fantastic evening, fantastic weekend. As Shane alluded to, make sure you guys enjoy the weather. That it might be rainy this weekend and it might be sunny for where you're at. Just it's going to be a coin toss. So, but if it's going to be beautiful weather where you're at, enjoy it and spend time with everybody. Love each other. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, enjoy this great outro that we do, and we'll talk to you then. Goodbye.